Some of these exits are easier than others, but I also don't want to give the impression that it's a novel just all of the sadder parts. I like to think there's a balance of the comedy mixed in with the serious. So I'm going to end with the character who's the youngest member of this retirement facility. She is still very much in independent living. She has her own little house and she still drives a car. And she taught high school English. I'm big on teachers, if you can tell. But very different experience. She was forced to retire from her job, and you'll hear a little bit about why. And she was very frustrated at the end of her career, and every now and then she goes on a little bit of a rant, be it. Her given name is Annabelle Tyler, but years ago she legally changed her name to Toby, saying she had always wanted to run away and join the circus. She was a big fan of Toby Tyler as a kid, and her little secret is, well, she has several, but one is she tells people she threw a dart at a map to decide where to move for retirement, and what she doesn't tell is that this is the 5th dart she threw. Ooh, I scared them off. So this is Toby. I was a good teacher for 40 years, and then everything got strange. The next thing I knew, the children were coming in with names like Bandana and Eurasia and Montpelier. And I said, those are things and places, children, and you are people. What on earth is going on? And there were names I couldn't even pronounce, and I can guarantee you that you don't readily go calling names you can't say. I'm looking for the Johns and Bills and Toms, and they just weren't there anymore. I'm a human. I'm a woman. I was an English teacher and a bit of an amateur writer myself, but I'll tell you, things went so far off course, I just didn't even know where I was anymore. I think it was the beginning of the end, too. What once was generous compassion for high school students with all their angst and crap going on turned into pure tea, agitation, and fury. I didn't get frustrated by who I am. I got frustrated by what they were reading and wanting to write about. I said, you're too smart for all this mess. Dwarves and wizards and gnomes and vampires, big blue aliens with tails like monkeys. I said, what I wouldn't give for a good old-fashioned story about somebody losing his or her virginity or getting an abortion. Grandma died, and for the first time I knew I was mortal. Or what about the one where the boy doesn't want to kill a deer, but Granddaddy makes him so he can be a man? I was wanting to write something myself, and it was dying to get out of my head, but couldn't find the door. It was all so plugged up with all that malarkey. I had worked so hard, and all I was longing for was some whining little boy who didn't want to kill a deer. I was craving one, in fact, would have loved him and given him an instant A.